Hello everyone and welcome to Gurun's classes. Today in the EVS of class 10 we'll be doing energy. Okay. Now here what do we mean by energy? Now energy is the capacity to do work. So that means for everything we need energy. Now here also in our body also we eat food and then we from food we get energy and then that energy is stored inside the mitochondria and then we when we talk, when we walk, when we do anything we use that energy. So that means energy is the capacity to do work. Without energy it's not possible. So likewise the greatest source of energy till now we have is the sun. Now the sun is the nearest star, okay, and from that star huge amount of energy comes to earth, and that energy is trapped by the plants, and that energy is converted into food, and then plants are eaten. Okay, now plants are eaten by animals, animals also are eaten. So that way that energy gets transformed from one organism to another organism, and then we obtain that energy and we utilize that energy. So that means energy is very essential for living, number one. Now along with that, energy is now utilized for making things better, for making our life luxurious, for production. Okay, so that was why long time back when humans all were living in the jungle, and at that time fire was not there only. After the invention of fire, yes or no, fire was a source of energy. So from fire, okay, with the help of the fire the life was very easy for them, because with fire it was it helped them to cook food. With fire it helped them to ward off the wild animals. With fire it helped them to move even at night also. So slowly after that metals were discovered, yes or no. Likewise afterwards fuel, that is fossil fuel, they were discovered. Now what is a fossil fuel? Now fossil fuel means long time back, millions of years ago, plants, animals, okay, when they died they were buried deep beneath the earth crust, okay, and they were pressurized, okay, and because of that immense pressure they turned into a fuel. Okay, now there are the fuel also are of various types. Fuel means which we burn. When we burn, from there we get energy. Now the fuel could be in terms of solid, or the fuel could be in terms of liquid, or the fuel could be in terms of gas also. Okay, but from all these when we burn them we obtain is energy. So liquid fuels are there, like we obtain is petrol or diesel or kerosene, yes or no. So all these are fossil fuels. That means they all were present from time immemorial deep beneath the earth crust, and then when they were discovered, humans came to know that they are a source of energy, and when burned, when utilized, they produce energy. Now that energy is utilized to turn turbines or pistons or anything else. Okay, before that you know very well, what was there? Steam engine was there. It was run with the help of what? Water. But now we have is diesel, we have is electricity. Okay, now that means this electricity, this light, isn't it? This light also is a source of energy, but this energy is obtained from where? Is obtained from fossil fuel. Now our life is totally dependent upon electricity. Just imagine a day without electricity, or a night without electricity, or a life without electricity. It's not possible. Only mobile phone charges with electricity, isn't it? Light with electricity, TV with electricity, your refrigerator with electricity, your what do you call that, hair what do you call that, dryer with electricity, yes or no. And the laptop, mobile phones, computers. Nowadays even electric cars are also there, battery operated cars are also there. So that means electricity has become a part of our life. We can fan, in cold places like in Kurshing, Darjeeling, we don't need fan or AC offer. We don't need even AC also. It's natural AC. Fan to sometimes that also. Now places like hot places like Silguri or Kolkata or other places, continuous AC, continuous fan or continuous cooler. Yes or no? So that means that runs with what? That runs with electricity. And that electricity is produced from where? Maximum amount of electricity is produced from fossil fuel. Then to certain extent of electricity is produced from water, that is hydroelectricity, and from geothermal energy, okay, or from tidal energy, or from wind energy. Big turbines are there and they run, okay, when they spin then electricity is generated. But maximum is from where? From fossil fuel. The more the more our life is progressing, the more we are dependent, the more we are becoming dependent upon electricity. Just imagine when you go to a shopping mall, what is there? A shopping mall is, I think I say, is a collection of electricity and its various devices. Because once you enter a shopping mall, what do you see? Here, big shops are there, glamorous shops are there, beautiful shops are there, beautiful, hotels are there, restaurants are there. They all are lit with what? Various types of electricity and its products. Yes or no? Imagine that shopping mall without electricity. The escalator also will not work. You can't go up, you can't go down. Yes or no? The kids can't play those games and all. Pizza is not possible in Domino's also, because the oven runs with the help of electricity only. Yes or no? All those buttons are there, temperature, maintaining this and that. Fine. You cannot, I think, dine also. You cannot do dining also. You cannot do eat also. No ice cream, because refrigerators won't work without. Yes, and the freezers won't work only. So that means we all are totally dependent upon electricity, and there is a high demand of energy. For example, now the petrol price is hiking. The petrol price is hiking, but then also we haven't stopped, okay, running cars, and we haven't started walking or going by foot. Why? Because it's not possible now. We have become so much dependent upon technology. We have become dependent upon energy, that without energy it's not possible. Just imagine yourself without a mobile phone and going to the market. Can you imagine? No, it's not possible now. Mobile phones, they have become a part of our life only. You might say, okay, a day might pass without eating. Okay, fine, I will fast, no problem. But no, I will not fast without, for a mobile phone. Yes or no? Can't stay without a mobile. So such few exceptional cases might be there, or places could be there where technology still is, not that developed. But then also, we are talking about is 3G, 4G, now 5G is also there. So that means it is the extreme use of energy. We are so much dependent upon energy that nowadays there is a demand. High demand of fossil fuel is there, high demand of electricity is there, high demand of energy is there. We are dependent, because our house also is, whatever the things we have in our house is all run by electricity, is all run by energy, all run by fuel, isn't it? From TV to, nowadays here, maybe in India, our houses might not be that sophisticated. But when we talk about sophisticated places, cities, countries, yes or no? Okay, there are places, there are houses, there are people who are totally dependent upon electricity, or who are totally dependent upon energy. So our life is so much, dependent upon energy. So there, but slowly these energy producing fuel, that is the fossil fuel, okay, like coal, yes or no, or we have is peats also are there, or tars are there, okay, or kerosene is there, or diesel is there, or petrol is there, or CNG is there, okay. All they are diminishing day by day. So the storage, or a day will come whereby it will finish. So that is why we have to move to, or we have to adopt the alternative sources of energy, that they are known as, like the wind energy, solar energy, or the geothermal energy, hydro energy, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Drawbacks are also there. For example, if you talk about, we are talking about, we are talking about is the fossil fuel, okay, because see, there is the dwindling supplies of fossil fuels. The fossil fuel supply is going down day by day. Why? Because the amount of fossil fuel that is left is for only few years. For only few years, maybe the coal might finish within 100 to 120 years, or maybe the fossil fuel might finish within 30 to 50 years after that. So that is why we have to shift towards the another source of energy, that is renewable source of energy, like solar energy. So we talk about solar energy, wind energy, but when we talk about, these all are theories, okay. Practical also are there. So see, the solar panels are there, like all the satellites, they work on solar panels only. Or we talk about is wind energy, yes, still people are using, yes, and wind turbines are there. Geothermal energy also, electricity is produced, or with the help of water also electricity is produced. But till date, okay, when we talk about till date, all those things have not become so cheap that even common man can use them at home. Okay, so when you buy a solar panel for your house, then the installation charge, okay, minimum could be near about 50 to 60,000 rupees. Okay, so a common man will not be able to invest, that much amount of money for solar energy. So that is why it might take time to move towards renewable sources of energy. Till then, we'll be using fossil fuel only, whose amount is going down day by day. So that is okay. Demand is also more, and then the supply is also less day by day. Fine. So that is why the price also is hiking. Fine. Now another clean fuel now the world is moving towards is nuclear energy. Now nuclear energy is one of the cleanest fuel, okay, that in the nearby future we all might be using it. Okay, there are countries who are using a huge amount of nuclear fuel, okay, because they have the nuclear raw materials also, they have the elements also, they have is the system also, they have the proper technology also with which they can produce energy with the help of nuclear elements. Okay, but country like India, we still have only 5 nuclear power plants, okay, and still we are trying. So overall, near about only 2.5% of electricity is generated through nuclear energy, but then also it is trying. Okay, India is trying. Okay, but there are certain what do you call that, problems also, okay, difficulties in fact, okay, to set up nuclear power plants, because it's not that easy. You need to have the nuclear fuel, you need to have that nuclear storage system, the device, the all the technology. Okay, so it's quite risky also. Anyways, we'll come to that afterwards. When we talk about nuclear energy is a fuel producing technology. A nuclear energy is an energy producing, okay, technology through nucleus of radioactive substances. Okay, and it is produced by two means. One is by fission, another is by fusion. Try to understand. Fission means, okay, suppose I use energy, that means this marker, okay, breaks up into two parts, that is like this. So this is fission. Fusion means, suppose this is a nucleus and again another part or another nucleus comes and unites with this. This is fusion. So by two methods nuclear energy is produced. One is by breaking, another is by adding. The breaking the nucleus is known as nuclear fission. Addition of the nucleus is known as nuclear fusion. Till date, whatever energy that is being produced through nuclear energy is being produced through nuclear fission only, because nuclear fusion, though it is best or better than nuclear fission, okay, but we don't have that better technology. So theoretically only we are there. Practically it is a bit difficult, because we need to have more better technology, okay, to have is fusion, more controlled system, which is quite difficult. Till date we don't have that technology. Okay, so it might take more 20 to 30 years to have is nuclear energy through fusion, whereby two hydrogen atoms will unite to produce helium atoms. Okay, fine. But what is done in fission is, an atom is taken and then it is hit by, okay, suppose a neutron, and then it breaks up. When it breaks up, okay, then again those broken parts again breaks up, again become smaller parts, again those smaller parts again break up. So when they break up into, when a chain of breakup starts, suppose it breaks here, again it breaks here, again it breaks here, during the time of that breakup, huge amount of energy is produced, which is trapped, okay, to run a turbine, and electricity is generated. So that is a basic idea about nuclear fission. Being an EVS student, you don't need to go into that deep, just like a chemistry or a physics student. But then also that is how nuclear energy is produced through fission. So the advantage and disadvantage also there. Like advantage is it is pollution free, yes or no, because it doesn't produce any carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, methane, no, nothing. Okay, and it is sustainable, means in the nearby future this only is the way, okay, to produce energy. And then it uses very less raw material. For example, a huge amount of coal is needed to run an engine, a huge amount of coal is used to boil a boiler, huge amount of fossil fuel is used to run a generator. But no, here in case of nuclear energy, small amount of raw material will do. Okay, and there could be a continuous supply of electricity or energy for a longer period of time. Continuous, there is no breakage. Okay, and it is eco-friendly. I told you before, and it doesn't cause any harm. I will come to that also, drawbacks. Okay, what harm does it cause? Disadvantage. Now see, low usage till now, so that means I told you, okay, in India also it's only 2.5%. See, because unit is a huge construction. Okay, and in a long run it is very cheap, but you have to abandon afterwards also. The construction have to be abandoned also. And sometimes if accidents occur, if okay, it is vulnerable, because if accidents occur at that time, not only the small place but the whole area can be devastated, whole area can be affected, huge number of people could be affected. And not only that, even the coming generation also could be affected. The pregnant woman could give stillbirth, or they can have a deformed babies, etc. So it's quite vulnerable. And on top of that, nuclear waste, the element that is used as a raw material, once the energy is produced, and once it is of no use, then it becomes a waste. Then again, okay, though it is a radioactive material but no longer in use for nuclear fuel production, then it has to be dumped, it has to be thrown somewhere else, deep inside the sea or deep beneath the earth's crust. Okay, so that nuclear waste becomes a problem, and it's expensive also. Till date, nuclear energy is quite expensive in construction. Okay, and it could be a very easy target of terrorists, because it could be a very long-term continuous cheap source of energy for terrorists. So it could be a target of terrorists also. And another is the external dependence of raw material, because for nuclear energy, like country like India, it does not have all the raw materials like plutonium, like uranium. Okay, fine. So it has to ask for other countries, and other countries may give, may not give. Okay, so this also is a problem, and it is quite dangerous also, because fission, sometimes the temperature or sometimes the system, though no matter, like if we talk about in Japan also, last time when earthquake came, then okay, they had a backup system also, but the backup system also was affected by the earthquake. As a result, the explosion took place, and then so many people were affected. Yes or no? Okay, so it's quite dangerous. Definitely there is a danger, until and unless we have is a very safety concerned equipment or better technology. When we talk about nuclear energy, the safety concerns, that is the transportation of the raw material, is very important. The storage is also very important, and better design, so that nuclear energy could be produced in the best possible way without harming or without causing any danger to the environment. Fine. One of the worst example is the Chernobyl disaster. Chernobyl, in Russia, in the month of April 26, okay, 1986, Chernobyl nuclear power plant, early in the morning, what happened was, there was certain power plants are there. Okay, now in a power plant, what are there is what happens is there is a reactor. In reactor number 4, the boiler did something else. Okay, and then the pressure was built. All of a sudden there was an explosion. Because of that explosion, huge gases went up in the sky, and then it went up in a big field. Big area was covered by that that explosion. And because of that, officially the deaths are 31 in number, but okay, and then the whole place was sealed. Big concrete wall was laid up later on, and then that whole place was evacuated. Near about 350,000 okay, people were evacuated. And then the effect not only affected Russia, but it went up to Europe. It was affected. Okay, and it was said that it was a level 7 event. So that means it was a very high risky disaster that took place in Chernobyl, okay, in 1986. Okay, so kindly students, kindly go through this Chernobyl disaster. Okay, and the nuclear energy, okay, the fossil fuel demand dwindling, advantage and disadvantage of nuclear energy. So thank you very, very much.